Another one that we really enjoyed too was I Hate Running Backwards.
Yeah.
And that one is developed by Binx Interactive, and it was cool. They had a really big booth, surprisingly, much bigger than like a lot of other almost bigger names.
Well, they were because they were in a bigger booth with Devolver. So there were a bunch of games going on. That one happened to be on their giant screen, and so like we sat down on the couch and played it, and they were actually like filming players' reactions to the game. So that was pretty cool.
And so essentially, you play two characters. I'm not sure if you can play more than two player, but we did. We played it with two players who are running backward the entire time. And so the screen is sort of scrolling upwards, and you're running backwards as things are approaching you in front of you. So you have weapons, and it's essentially it's a very quick-paced shooter. You have different power-ups. You have melee attacks. Everything in every level is destructible, and you get points for just destroying things. Yeah, super fast-paced, a lot of fun. It makes you communicate more than I thought we would be communicating, because I thought it would just be like spray and pray kind of game, but we were like, hey, grab that heart, go destroy that thing, like watch out for this thing. And if one player dies, the other has to survive for 30 seconds before the player who dies can come back. And so it was very tense. I feel like we played for maybe 4 or 5 minutes before we both died, because it got really intense. At one point we were like in a car and we were like flying over buildings and shit.
Well, no, we got to the boss fight, and like that dude just fucked us up.
No, that made quick work of us. But that was a lot of fun. There was like almost throughout all 4 days at PAX there was a crowd around I Hate Running Backwards, probably because the screen was so big. But
they were rotating games on the big screen.
Oh,
so on Friday the Messenger was playing on it. I think the Messenger was playing on it yesterday too.
I would have loved to play the Messenger on that screen.
That would
have been rad.
But I also enjoyed playing it next to the guy who made it.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I Hate Running Backwards. This is one of those perfect ones. It's coming out on Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Microsoft, so it's coming out on everything. But this is one of those ones I was like, this would be so much fun on the Switch. Especially like with co-op, because you don't use too many buttons for it.
Right.
I think it was like right trigger, left trigger, and then just a couple of the actual like the face buttons. So not the D-pad or anything. So I think that'd be a fun game as one of those like couch multiplayers as well for like the Switch, and I think it'd be a great portable too.
Definitely, and it's one of those games that you can just hop in and out of, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Like for example, for panels we found ourselves with 10, 15, even 30 minutes waiting in line, especially for the bigger panels, and almost everybody was just sitting on the floor playing their Switch, right? And
that was a blast.
I think this game would be perfect for that kind of thing. If you're like waiting for a lift or hanging out with your friends or whatever, and you have a couple minutes to spare, it's the kind of game you can just pop into and have fun. So yeah, it was great.
I hate running backwards.